Joe, excuse me for the weekly update on Bo Nix, but what do you want to see for him this weekend and then in the next 2 weeks after that, getting ready for the opener?
Yeah, I think in this game would be good, if he got in a rhythm and put together a drive or two. And just, we're getting to the end of training camp and most of the installs in, so just, tightening up the details, before we know it, we're going to be getting ready for that first game. So, just continue on the path that he's on.
How much of a jump forward has he made then? Do you consider his progress at this point?
Yeah, I think, right where you want him to be. He's, you can see the experience he's had over the past year. Just a lot more comfortable, and I think he's operating at a high level. Right.
What's your perspective on that? Is that unconventional for teams?
I think it depends on the makeup of your team. I mean, we're always focused on what everybody does well. And try to put them in those positions. So there are times where, you want Cortland into the boundary, other times where you might want him to the field at number 2. And so we have an extensive, we've got a lot of formations, but then we've got a lot of different personnel groupings to put people right where we want them. So, we know that each receiver has strengths, and most of them have a weakness or two, and you just want to maximize their strengths and, make sure the right people are doing the right thing. And so there's a lot of, Sean famously, we work late hours, and a lot of that is getting the personnel and the formations right, more so than just like the plays we're running. It's getting the people in the right position.
How important do you see kind of being in this offense?
Yeah, he's got a lot of versatility. He's big, he can run, good route runner. And so, he's a guy that you can plug in a lot of spots. Smart, so he can play all the positions, and that's very helpful.
How do you feel wide zone, putting those principles in? How do you feel that's going with your offensive lineman transition?
I think good. It's a process. I mean, it's something that we've run in one fashion or another, and we're just detailing up some of our landmarks and rules, and I think it's coming along really well.
Joe, Zach Struth and Austin King have been like best friends for like 25 years. What do you kind of see about their relationship and how well they kind of mesh together?
They're you can see how close they are. They've got a history. You get tired of hearing about Northwestern every now and then, they're both really good coaches. And Sean says all the time that compatibility is more important to him than capability at times with coaches, and just having those two, it just makes the whole staff, more fun to be around.
You looked in San Francisco, RJ Harvey, Sean said he found once again run outside, and we've seen kind of maybe concerted effort to attack inside holes. What do you like about the adjustment there? Have you seen that from him?
I think he's. I don't think he's run behind, with the quarterback under center a whole lot in his career. So there's an adjustment there. A lot of times he bounces it, and it's a good thing. And it's good for a defense to have to worry about that. You don't want to do it every single run. Not every single run calls for that. And I think he's coming along and learning and getting better at it. But I like that he does bounce it at times. But to Sean's point, there are times where there's a cutback there, and he's learning to get to those.
So what is Evan, particularly for you guys in the red zone, like the unique traits that he has? How's that most going to help you guys?
Yeah, I mean, he's a elite receiver, and I'm not even going to say for a tight end. I mean, his movement skills are fantastic. He can jump up in the red zone and grab those high balls. He can separate, and a smart player, and a guy that really. The things you don't know when you're watching film on a guy that you're not familiar with is just how serious he takes it, how hard he works, and so he's been, all positives.
How much more with, one preseason game left, how much more do you need to see from the running backs fighting for roster spots to sort these things out?
Yeah, it's a real, it's a real tight competition, and every rep is important, and so we're just going to keep evaluating, and these are going to be important reps for all those guys to see where they are. And, we've got a lot of history with all of them, and so we're just looking for them to, put an exclamation point on what they've been doing.
Thank you.